In the past few years, the Lone Star State has gotten much less lonely. In fact, between April 2020 and July 2022, an estimated 880,000 people migrated to Texas, which is a comparable number to the entire population of South Dakota. Wow! So, why is everyone picking Texas, and where are they moving in from? A majority of folks in states like California, Colorado, New York, and Florida are picking Texas due to the ample affordable housing, quality school systems, high levels of space and personal freedom, and the friendly and neighborly spirit that Texans embody. But in a state so large, where are the best places to move to? In today's video, we'll count down the 10 most affordable cities and towns in Texas to help make transitioning to America's second most populous state as easy as can be. Beginning the list at number 10, El Paso. Sitting in the far western corner of the state, El Paso is the 6th largest city in Texas and the 22nd largest in the country, with a population around 660,000. The El Paso metro area is surrounded by the Mexican border to the south and New Mexico to the west. El Paso is the largest city featured on this list, and it has excellent potential for new homeowners and any urbanites looking to rent. The median home price in El Paso is roughly $152,000, while in other major Texas urban areas like San Antonio and Houston, the median home price is at least $50,000 higher. El Paso's average rent price also comfortably rests at $837 a month, an incredibly favorable amount for an urban setting. Not to mention, El Paso is surrounded by immense natural beauty, such as the Franklin Mountain Range, which cuts almost directly into the city. Coming in next at number 9, McAllen. McAllen is a southern Texas city of about 142,000 people that borders the Mexican border across from the Mexican city of Reynosa. While the population of McAllen itself is somewhat small, the metropolitan area surrounding McAllen is quite large, amassing almost 900,000 people. As a matter of fact, McAllen actually has the 5th largest metropolitan area in all of Texas, so it's safe to say there is plenty of draw to the McAllen area for folks across the country. McAllen's median home price is quite comparable to that of El Paso, and its cost of living index score is quite favorable as well, sitting at 78.6. With the U.S. average cost of living at 100, McAllen's score is considerably lower and indicates a much cheaper place to live overall. McAllen also has a favorable renting market. The city's median rent price is $789, the second lowest mark on this list, and its housing-specific cost of living index score is at a whopping 56.7. Next up in our Texas trek, Killeen. Killeen sits about an hour north of the Lone Star capital, Austin, with a population of roughly 150,000. At a score of 78.5, Killeen's cost of living index is 19.6% lower than the national average. Much like McAllen, their housing score in the cost of living index is extremely low at 58.5, and their score for transportation expenditures, such as gas, metro fares, vehicle taxes, and license fees, is much less than the national average of 100 as well, at 79.2. From a cultural and historical standpoint, Killeen is at an interesting location for its proximity to Fort Hood military base, which borders the city to the northwest. Fort Hood, which is undergoing a name change to Fort Cavazos, is the U.S. Army's premier base in the country for training and deploying their heavy-duty military units. Coming in at number 7, Abilene. Abilene is a central Texan city situated a few hours west of Fort Worth. Abilene has a desert-like climate with summer temperatures that get quite hot. Abilene's population is around 125,000, much of which is supported by the massive agricultural complexes surrounding the city area. The city is relatively isolated from other major Texan metro sites, so a welcomed and neighborly feeling of freedom and independence comes with Abilene life. The median home price in Abilene is at a highly comfortable $148,000, meaning you'll have plenty of leftover money to spend when moving to Abilene. Not to mention, living in Abilene is quite inexpensive too, as the overall cost of living score is 78.1. And much like the others mentioned on the list so far, Abilene has highly favorable transportation and housing scores for their cost of living index. Rounding out the bottom half of the list is Waco. Waco is geographically located roughly halfway between the Dallas metro area and Austin, with a population of roughly 136,000 people. Waco is an intriguing destination due to the historical events that have left a legacy on the town, plus, more recently, an influx of tourism fueled by a modern revitalization. In 1993, a siege of a cult called the Branch Davidians occurred just outside Waco, which involved countless fatalities, a burned-down cult complex, and multiple U.S. bureaucratic officials killed. The devastating aftermath left the town with a lingering sour taste. Recently, though, the town has been revitalized through tourism and modernization, especially in the Magnolia Market, which sees over 1 million visitors a year. Waco's cost of living score is at a cool 77, and their median home price is around $155,000. Waco is incredibly affordable, and the city's stock continues to rise as more homeowners flock to the city. Next, at number 5, Lubbock. Lubbock is situated in northwest Texas and has an arid and hot climate, plus the well-known University Texas Tech. Lubbock's sizable population of 255,000 is quite isolated from most other major metro areas of the state. Despite a large population, Lubbock maintains low cost of living scores in all aspects, including transportation, groceries, estimated living wages, and of course, overall cost of living. Many from across the country seem to especially be migrating towards Lubbock, as the city has experienced an 11% population growth in the past 3 years. One potential reason for such a remarkable population change can be cited to the distinct cultural identity of the city, which houses impressive museums and educational facilities, as well as musical artifacts from local legend Buddy Holly. Coming in at spot number 4, Beaumont. Beaumont is the easternmost city on our list, located just a few towns over from the Louisiana border. Additionally, Houston is only a short drive from Beaumont to the west, and the Gulf of Mexico and other shallow lakes and swamps can be found just south of Beaumont, with plenty of land dedicated to wildlife preservation and outdoor recreation. In addition to that, Beaumont offers one of the most competitive median home prices in the entire state at just under $125,000. The town population is the second smallest on this list at 115,000, so this area is ideal for those looking for a smallish Texas town feel while maintaining the Texas values of privacy and freedom. Beaumont has a cost of living overall score of 78.3 and is considered affordable on all the major indexes for cost of living. Now into the top 3, beginning with Amarillo. Amarillo is the most populous city in the northern panhandle of Texas and is therefore geographically quite isolated from other urban centers, with Lubbock being the next major metropolitan area some 2 hours away by car. Amarillo, a notable site on the historic Route 66, has cultural and artistic remnants found throughout the city of their previous days as a root watering hole. In addition, the town has a distinct cowboy culture, as the town takes pride in the rugged Texas plains surrounding the city. Amarillo is found high on our list because every specific cost of living index in the city is well below national and Texas average, including groceries, utilities, miscellaneous expenses, housing, and transportation. The median home price in Amarillo is $147,000, which is a great figure for a city with a population just over 200,000. Falling in at number 2 is Wichita Falls. See what we did there? Wichita Falls has a population of 102,500 and is therefore the least populous city on our list. The city lies about 150 miles northwest of Dallas and sits just a few miles away from the southern Oklahoma border. What makes this northern Texas spot so exceptional for affordability is their cheap real estate market. The median home price in Wichita Falls is the cheapest in the entire state at $116,290. The cheap housing market, combined with highly affordable rent prices, with a median rent price of $794, makes settling into Wichita Falls a remarkably cheap process. Additionally, considering that Wichita Falls is a bit smaller and more private than others on our list, transportation costs here are therefore the lowest in all of the state, scoring in at 65.8, which is 34% cheaper than the national average. And finally, coming in at the number 1 spot on the list, we have Brownsville. Brownsville, Texas is at the southern tip of the state and borders the Mexican border across from Matamoros. Much like neighboring McAllen, the Brownsville metropolitan area is deceptively large, and its spread-out nature makes living in Brownsville much cheaper. Brownsville's population of 185,000 enjoys the most favorable median rent prices in the state at $736. Additionally, Brownsville places second in median home price, with homes middling at $118,205. Despite these low figures for housing, what truly sets Brownsville apart is the city's cost of living, which is at a staggering 70.3. Therefore, the price for pretty much all kinds of goods and services in Brownsville will be almost 30% below the national average price points. Brownsville is remarkably affordable and also is geographically close to the Gulf of Mexico waterfront and South Padre Island, an area known for beachfront access and ocean living. And lastly, Brownsville is known for its vibrant Mexican culture, capitalized by a fiesta called Charro Day, celebrating the vibrant culture in Matamoros and Brownsville together. No matter where you choose to head to from this list, you'll experience greater personal freedoms, cheaper housing, and a warm climate and culture as you transition to the Lone Star State. So why wait any longer? The time is now to turn Texan.